22 and 23
Hello.
that are in the Zoom account. Do you want those saved for any reason?
No,
Okay,
so didn't
then
even notice. And
okay, I'll take care of them.
all right, well, I can go in and delete them too.
Okay, there's also you've got the settings that is causing the Read AI. So
Oh, okay. So there's
yeah,
a way for me to go in there and change that? Or
yeah, there is, but and yeah, that should probably be turned off. We always thought it was Kevin because Kevin does it when he can't be there. It's set for it to let somebody else do the Read AI, but you've got it set also to automatically do it. So
okay. And that must have, I don't know how it happened. All that, like I'm on a learning curve with all that. In fact, I was struggling with it today because anyway. So I'll
yep.
go in and remove that. That answers a lot of questions about why I keep getting all those messages.
Well, and the third thing is that because I'm using your account now, you're going to be getting the recordings. Are they coming to the SM Peters or are they coming to the Reach Advocacy?
They should be coming to Reach Advocacy.
Okay, so until you
They
go out of town, you can forward them to me.
All right, well, should I have gotten one from today, from your morning meeting today?
Um,
Because I
Yeah.
got 3 day I notice about the morning meeting. And that's
yeah,
how I got into this whole, just as,
no, we didn't record the meeting, but the Read AI came automatically.
okay.
Oh, that was the recording that said you're being recorded?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So, what else?
So I didn't get any recording and I would
but
have,
yeah.
let me look in my
Yeah.
downloads folder, but I didn't, I would have seen a notice.
No, it was
Read.
just the Read AI recording. It wasn't the actual recording of the
Okay,
meeting.
They
okay.
So,
didn't record that.
yeah, it was only a 23-minute meeting.
Yeah, so generally, like with the board meeting on Monday,
Mhm.
board meeting ends, it says, don't turn off your computer. We're downloading the recording. So when I'm
Uh-huh.
away, what's going to happen?
When you're away, you need to sign out of Zoom.
Huh.
Okay, I won't be signed
Log
in.
out.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, all right. So before I leave, make sure I totally log out of Zoom. And that won't mess up you starting the meeting with the new link or
No,
with link. Okay.
all of my
Totally
links
list there.
all are set up to automatically let everybody in that wants to come in, whether it's me that gets in first or other people. And if the board meeting doesn't do that, then I will log into the account so that I
It
can
used
start it from
to.
there.
It used to, but I just went in today to change the dates to the fourth Monday of the month.
Uh-huh.
And so I'll make sure that that setting is still there, that anyone who has the link can
Hmm.
can log in. Okay. Um,
Did you do the TechSoup download for the
it doesn't expire until, so the administrative account doesn't expire until end of March, early
that's
April.
fine.
So
That's fine.
it's a little bit early, isn't it?
Well, we can
And you
get
have
it
to,
anytime now that my account's expired. But I want to wait until closer to the time, but we can't do it last minute. I actually did that last year and it was a nightmare between TechSoup and Zoom.
well, you should get an email.
Uh-huh.
So, oh no, you won't get it from TechSoup because we weren't paying with TechSoup yet, were we?
We paid for mine with TechSoup
Right,
last year,
but not the
but
admin.
no, what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to go in and get a new certificate from TechSoup that
Okay.
is
So
it'll work.
can you do that while I'm gone, or do you want me to work on it? I will be looking at my computer from time to time when I'm gone.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's necessary. Do we know if Sue's coming since we need to
Yeah,
work
she
on?
said she is.
Okay. So we're just waiting on her.
Yeah. She
Okay,
was in a
then.
meeting with Deb and everyone else, I think.
Yeah. Um, so The 23-minute meeting, I got the information I needed to do the adjusting entries, which was the piece that I was struggling with that I didn't know
Right.
answers to. And so,
That's good news.
yeah, I'm
So
gonna,
he was helpful.
yeah, I'm gonna take the day off of Bonadio just long enough to get to Stonebridge. Or
Okay.
do you think I should do Stonebridge after I get done with Bonadio?
Yeah, I
What
think
about
you
the-
should do Bonadio first
Okay,
and Stonebridge. I think he's going to be patient, and
okay,
What
yeah.
about the shelter budget though?
we're talking about that today.
that's what we're waiting on Sue
Okay.
for.
Because that needs to
Um,
be done,
That
finished.
has to be done this week. That has to be out of here and in the SMS by
Mhm.
Friday. So she did send an email that said she was coming. So
Okay, sounds good.
They may still be meeting, although I
I
plan,
don't think so. I think they finished.
Their meeting didn't start until 11:45.
right. And Deb asked me to schedule a Zoom from 11:45 to 1.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
So,
I was there at 11:50 and they were meeting. So I got the key.
Good.
good, good. So I can't
Oh.
remember, is it marked on there what the post office box number is and everything?
I don't know. It's in a box that I put it in to not lose it.
So do we have a copy of the THA budget in the Reach Drive that we can all look at, or are we looking at?
Just a minute.
No, I've saved the one Sue sent,
And you've been
and
making
I
changes on it that
created.
nobody else can see.
And what?
You've been making changes on it, but nobody else
Yeah.
can see them?
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, I can send them to anybody or transpose them.
Well,
They're
or-
not. I don't want to start messing with that until we all talk. So I have my notes and we can talk about them.
Okay,
But the one that I have up, I think is out of the drive. No, both. No, they're not in the drive. It's not.
okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was because Sue doesn't.
Do you
I
want
think-
it as a Google Doc?
No, I'm looking at the one Sue sent last Friday at 5
Okay.
o'clock.
Great. That's the one I have.
So
Too. Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Good. Okay.
And
There
here
she
comes
is,
Sue.
looking at her beautiful flowers.
Uh-huh.
She's a master gardener.
She's going to be.
Well, yes. Yeah. Based on what she showed me, I think she's pretty close. Sue, I was just saying, I think you're already a master gardener. She didn't hear me.
I think she's still connecting to audio.
Okay.
There we
Oh,
go.
no,
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. I went.
I said I was
Late.
just saying you're already a master gardener. Not yet.
Not yet.
I like your picture of looking at the flowers. What are those flowers in your
Lilies.
lilies? Yeah, beautiful.
very tall lilies.
Very
They're
beautiful.
6 feet tall.
Very
Yeah.
tall lilies. Okay, that's why I didn't. Okay, well, thanks. We're all here. Gang's all here. And we're going to welcome everyone. Hello. Agenda. I only made one change. Marcia, again, thank you. So I just put up a banner. Thanks, Marcia. She did the agenda updated, and I looked at it and updated one thing. Minutes, I think the last minutes were what, like,
December,
I don't know if they're in
19th.
there.
I think
They're not in-
maybe.
I don't think they're in the file.
I think it, or I mean, November 19th. What am I saying?
November, they are, yeah. Was that our last meeting?
It might be, and there might be one more.
I didn't
Since then-
see anything but November 19th.
Well, I can tell you. Hold on a minute. No, I can't tell you.
It easily could be with the holidays, and quite honestly, we've been meeting almost every day.
Yeah, I
Oh.
mean,
It's like, oh, formal meeting. No, we've been doing this. So if I just move the agenda in the minutes, we can get on with this.
that sounds good. although we should change the date at the top of it, but I'll live with it being what
Change the
it
date
is.
at the top of, oh, this one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we can change that. What
So
date
I'm
is
gonna,
it?
January 14th, 2025,
Wow, not the
1
15th.
4.
Yep. Right. Okay, don't do that. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, so
Treasurer's report, I do have an update from last night.
Yep.
The county money came in after the
Good.
board meeting last night, and sometime before I went to bed in the middle of the night. And so the money's been transferred, and so the shelter's unreconciled balance is now 39,812.46.
Okay. And this week payroll?
Now next week is payroll.
Oh, okay.
But we won't be getting any more money until the county gets the THA contract in
Right.
and processes it,
Right.
which is kind of why we urgently need to get it done. And I know we're going
Right.
to
We
get it
got
done
that on the
today.
agenda. We'll hit it. We'll hit it.
Yeah.
Are we
Um,
positive that we won't get any?
Pam
That we
hasn't
won't
built-
what?
Are we
Pam hasn't,
positive that they won't cut any more checks until we've signed the thing?
No.
Pam
No, and I
hasn't
think we
billed
should
for
submit.
anything after December 31st because she knows that she can't submit until the contract is in.
Well, I think we should just go ahead and try.
We should submit the vouchers.
Walt won't pay them. Hey,
They're
Sue.
submitted
Hey.
and they'll be paid in arrears.
Yeah.
Sue.
So yeah, I do have an update from the shelter team about that.
Mhm.
And what Andy said is we just need the 2025 form. And that Deb is going to request from Becky the 2025 form. Because typically our contract isn't even signed until March.
Mhm.
And funds usually come in way before March. They come in regularly. So
No, that they actually don't historically, but I think they might this year.
They did last year, but we had to submit the budget and the application before they started processing checks, or vouchers. So, that's why we need to get it done and in this week so that they can
Yeah.
start processing vouchers for the first half of January.
Right. So we'll get the contract in. We can talk about that in a minute, and then submit vouchers. And
Mhm.
we were confirmed with the contract last year, fully signed January 20th or 24th. So it wasn't March last year. It was pretty timely, actually.
Mhm.
Dahlia
Okay.
Wright signed it. I saw her signature.
okay, that's not what I was told today, but that's good.
It's in the contract,
Good.
on the contract, and it's in the file.
Okay.
On the drive, and it's January 24th. We're hopefully get it soon, but we need to submit everything and then voucher, yes. So let's go back to Treasurer's report. Anything else?
Okay, the only other thing is I have a quick update since last night that for Sue's benefit, I met with Bob Fishback, who's the CPA that Patrick Hanna introduced us to. And in 20 minutes this morning, he walked me through the information that I was stuck on and getting the accounting records completed for the Bonadio audit. So it's going to take me some time, but it will be done and uploaded along with everything else they need by the end of this week. So and possibly over the weekend, but I think I can have most of it done by the end of the Friday.
I think if I know you want to talk more about it, you get down the bottom.
No,
But
I
anyway,
have nothing more to say.
okay. Yep. I think uploading anything you can get. Now,
Mhm.
Mike he did reach out. That was him last night when we were in the meeting.
Mhm.
And I reached out back to him. I missed him, and I missed him again this morning. So we're going to talk. I'm just going to say we understand. He agrees that just doing the 23 year end audit makes more sense and not kind of muddy the waters with the other one. So that's good news. And he just is on his message saying that he'll do what they can, but he said, I can make no promises. So
Understood.
kind of a stance, and I got it. I totally get it. So we're done with treasurer's report, right? Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
THA contract. So this is Sue, and I know Deb's working on it with you. I'm assuming
So,
that, go ahead.
so, yeah, so people wanted to be sure that I was clear in stating that that error on there was mine. So when I deleted all of the actuals, which is what people were
Mhm,
recommending that I do, that's
mhm.
what happened. And I don't know how it happened, but that $75 item that's supposed to be $150, which is the
Mhm.
per night billing. So I do apologize for the confusion.
Oh,
Um,
so, okay, so if I could just, so you changed something which I was saying the number is right. I've been looking at the one that you first sent, which has actuals.
oh,
So you submitted something since then without the actuals?
yeah. And then
Oh,
and then that I
didn't know that.
yeah, I did, and it's not correct because
Got it.
somehow when I deleted them, that per bed night came out to be 75. I don't know how that happened.
It
I
was
don't,
8873. So Sue, what budget are you working from? Is this the one you sent
Yeah.
the finance team Friday at 5 o'clock?
I'm working from the budget. I'm working from the budget that Janelle helped us develop. And it's
Can you,
based on some of Janelle's figures.
So
but I
Sue,
need to know which document. I've got like the wrong one up, I think.
Can you
we
send,
all are trying to look at the document that you are working from. Do you have it?
Yes, I believe I did send it Friday afternoon.
Okay,
I
so
do
that's
have
the
it.
one that has the wrong payroll for Anastasia and for Matt. And
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
hang on.
it-
I don't want to just start jumping into line items. Let me get the right one up. I have the
okay,
one that has the actuals 7/1/23, 6/30/24. That's not the correct one, correct?
Right.
Okay, so let me go and get it so I can
one
see
sent
it.
on the 10th at 5:18?
Okay,
Is that
if
correct?
you look for THA, it
I'll
should
just
probably come
search
up in your email.
DHA. Yep, I'm trying to do it. Okay. Yeah, that's why, Marcia, I went back to you and said, number's right. So it was January 10th.
Yes,
Yes.
at
All
5:18
right,
is what I have.
got it. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, I was not looking at that one.
So you
So
fixed the 150.
this is an Excel, right? This is not a
Right.
Google Drive document.
Right.
I just drag it over. All right. So, okay, I have the right one now. So probably all of my notes are not worth talking about.
Okay, so can we
I don't
start
know.
with personnel services since that's how the numbers come up on the front page? And thank you for
Yes.
fixing that 150 a night.
Yep. So the one, well, no, let's go up to the revenue. I would not include the 175. I don't want to say that we're going to get 175,000.
From the United Way, you mean?
That's not United Way, is it? Is that United Way?
It's United Way and Wilson.
Okay,
Okay, so
and
we
that
do
makes
have
sense.
those committed. Okay, because that was an agreement. I don't want to put anything that's speculative. Is
Right.
the fundraising speculative, or is that
Yes, and it's
then
way off.
then I would delete that.
That is probably what we got, but that was with SOS and the walk and so on.
We got it. We didn't get it.
We
I don't
don't
want to
have it yet.
speculate. I don't want to speculate. I
Norm
want
is
them to,
around 30 to 40,000.
no,
30, I
I don't
would,
want to even do Norm. I don't know what Janelle had done in the past, but I don't want to do that.
well, I'm
She put
thinking of
down
donations
nothing.
that come in from the website and so on. Then the average, and of course I haven't just done the numbers, but the average I believe is around 30 to sometimes 40,000 without fundraisers. So I think you could easily say 30,000.
Well,
Hmm. I don't
but
want to say any.
hold on a second, because I'm bringing up Janelle's budget
I
from the
couldn't find
past.
last year's.
Okay, she put nothing in there for other, except for the Monroe County DSS contract.
Yeah, you just don't want to speculate.
Okay,
That's not how you do.
Well, and the Wilson budget is committed funding, but it's committed funding that doesn't support the project. It supports the employees, and it's with on the job training and training people to become trainers, and those trainers will get an increase in their salary because they are now training people, not because they're providing support to our guests. So that shouldn't go in there anyway, but
Well,
wait a minute,
okay,
and the
I
United
agree.
Way is actually to support beds that are not THA approved, so it shouldn't go in there. So I want Sue to understand why you're saying that is my
Yeah.
point.
Fine, and thank you. But yeah, if the grant that we have is specifically for items that are below the line in expenses, then we can
Mhm.
include it.
But it's
If
not.
it's not, then we can't. So that's why both of those probably should go. Okay. So now we're down to expenses.
And contributions and fundraising also don't go to support the funded people from the THA contract. So before we leave this page here, the other thing that I think is well, never mind.
Yeah, let's go down
That's it.
to personnel or
Okay.
personal services, they call it, not
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah, but we aren't going to be their grammar police, though.
did we figure out, Marcia, did you figure out the fringe benefits? Is that correct?
Should be 20.
Sue's going to have to tell us if it's correct or not.
I do not know this stuff, so
Okay.
and I'm not doing that. I'm just not. I
Okay.
don't know it, and I'm not going to start from zero to figure this stuff out. You
Well,
guys
let's just
know it.
walk through it. Nobody's trying to, and I understand, Sue. I just want to make sure we get through it and understand it. So I'm on personal services tab.
And the executive director, I believe, is right.
Yeah.
And except for it says full-time effort on the program is only 50%. What's she doing with the other 50% of her job?
Social work?
And why is it only 6 months in the program?
Okay, I'm
Because
not seeing what you're seeing.
Okay, look on the personal services tab.
Yep.
Executive director, $75,000.
Right, I see.
It's 12 months on the program, not 6.
I see 12 months.
I see 12 months.
I'm looking at Sue's budget that she submitted. Is it not?
I'm seeing 12 months.
I'm seeing
Why am I
12 months too.
Percent effort on the program.
12 months. It is 100% effort on the program.
Right. That's
That's what it
my
is.
document says.
Yep. Mine too.
Okay, why do I have a different document then?
I don't
Because
know.
there's been a lot of going around. So why don't
It's not
you?
in the drive though. So did you
Went
put
to
this
the-
in the drive?
No, I did not put it in the drive.
So Sue, you have the most recent version. Can you screen share it with us?
So, but
I can
mine
screen share it.
in Excel, it's an Excel document and it doesn't mine. I don't know how to get it to show what you
I
guys are
can
looking
I
at.
can screen share mine.
Good.
But-
Okay. That would be good.
Yep.
I mean, I'm looking at the same one you guys are looking at, and I'm not sure why mine looks different.
I don't know.
Oh, wait a
That-
minute, I'm not. I'm looking at the one from 9 days ago. I apologize completely.
Then I'm not going to screen share. I can
Okay.
still though. Hang on. Well, it's easy to do. And let's see. Screen 2. Share. Okay, anybody see a screen?
I do, but I can't read it. So hold on a minute. I need to get okay, now I can read it. Okay, I apologize. I was in the one from earlier this month. Okay.
Trying to
So-
see where my
100%.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I mean, I see
Adminis-
mine. So everyone can see. Can you actually see my cursor moving around?
Yeah, I can see
Okay.
it now. I'm fine.
Okay, so let's go.
okay.
Executive director's fine. The next one is Anastasia, right?
Uh-huh. Can you do a
What
full
is
screen?
that?
So
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Thank you. The next one is Anastasia, and Anastasia is working hourly. And what I saw is that in the last quarter of 2024, she was averaging about 22 hours a week. So I'd say 24 hours a week, which is 3 hours. Yeah, it's 24 hours per pay period, which means it's 12 hours a week, not 8. And I'd bump it up to 15.
Okay.
Just because it probably will be 15 at times.
I wonder if I've got enable editing.
But then do we need to change her annual salary and everything too?
What is her annual salary?
9,152 according to this.
Well,
8 hours a week.
she's hourly, and so Sue, do you have the payroll records so that you can look up her hourly rate?
I'm sorry, I am not looking it up. I'm just too frustrated with this. I'm really, this is out of my league entirely.
Okay. So let's just do it. I can't edit here. So somebody Sue, if you've got it, if you can edit as we make changes. So you're gonna make the 12 hours. Yeah, let's just go through line by line.
So let me look up her hourly rate, which I have to look in the payroll record. So hold on.
Well, I don't have an editable document that's like
Well,
this.
then
So-
you need to take notes that say personal services, since that's what they've got. The
I'm gonna
line.
download it. So you guys are gonna watch me do this. So
Okay, hold on a second. Now I lost it, my Zoom. Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong screen.
let's see.
Okay, so here's Zoom. Okay, payroll. And 13/20/25, that's a summary. That doesn't do me any good.
Download it into a Excel.
Okay, I cannot pull it from there, so that's good. So hold on a second. Payroll detail, there it is. Okay. Okay, Haynes is $25 an hour times 15 hours a week. And Smeltzer is $25 an hour and 20 hours a week.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try and make the changes in this. Okay, so this should be what we're all looking at, just in an Excel spreadsheet.
It was the one that
So-
Sue attached.
Right, so it's 12
you-
there.
Can you enlarge it so we can see it?
Yeah, sorry. You don't want to see my one that I was making notes on? That's all wrong. So what's the
Make Anastasia's 15 hours a week at $25 an hour.
Okay, where's the hourly rate?
You have to take 15 times 25 or 15 times 2080 to get the hourly rate, and it goes under annual salary. Go left, go left, go left.
Oh, under there. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
There might
it's,
be a formula in there already.
let's see, let's get
Well,
out and
not
see.
anymore.
No, I didn't take anything out. So
Okay.
it's, instead of 8, it's 15. And then it's,
25.
got it. All right.
Okay, then Matt's is 20 hours a week. And then change his formula to. And his pay rate is $25 an hour.
All right.
Okay.
Shelter staff. This seems, so just the payroll seems really low based on where we were before. We were at 1.5 million for 50 beds. So, I don't know if this is actually, someone went through this. And Sue, I'm not pointing at you, or it's not what we're doing. We're just getting it done, right? So the shelter staff, is this something that we went through per requirement, 2 people per all that kind of stuff?
No, that's not. The requirement of 2 people per shift isn't right. It depends on how many beds you have in your shelter, and I don't know what the requirement is from THA, and so I don't know if this is enough positions or not. I'm going to open Janelle's budget and look at that, and I'll tell you what we did last year. Okay, because
And I think it's fairly safe on the shelter staff to say we can say that budget was for 50 divided by 50 and then again by 30, multiplied by 30.
yeah, I
Right?
agree with you, except I don't know if they increased the payroll for anybody. But let me tell you what they had. They had
Well, we're using $19 an hour.
okay, so
20
hold
an
on a
hour.
minute. I'll look up the pay rates in a minute, but right now I'm looking at Janelle's budget, and she was using 3 shelter managers, which is or 4 shelter managers to cover 5 sites, because Van had a separate contract for the 6th site. And so it would be
But with
one shelter manager, and
But
there
all
would not,
shifts.
I'm sorry?
Don't we have 3 shifts?
No, the shelter manager only works 1 shift a day. Then the shelter monitors,
How come we have 2 shelter managers then?
I don't know. I didn't do that budget.
No,
And then there's 2 at
Yeah.
$20 an hour and 1 at $19 an hour.
yeah,
And
right. There's 2 in 1.
but the reality is that the shelter manager only works 1 shift, is my understanding, unless they're doing 1 shelter manager in place of 1 shelter monitor. And let me look at the pay rates and I'll tell you.
Well, I would cover, you've got 40 hours, but you've got more than 40 hours in a week. They don't work weekends at all?
No, they work 7 days a week.
Yeah, well, 40 hours isn't enough.
Right, I know it's not.
So
That was one of the mistakes in the previous budget, but we,
I think leaving 2 shelter managers is fine.
Yeah.
The
well, hold
next
on a
one, I would
minute.
think
I'm
it's a
trying to
different
go through the payroll and I can tell you what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay,
Andre is a shelter manager, I know that.
right,
Yeah.
Andre's $20 an hour,
Okay,
and
we're good on line 1.
then everybody else is either 16 or $17 an hour, or 16 or, why don't you put them all in for $17 and don't put in the lower amount, because
Well, are the rest of the staff all shelter monitors?
yes.
So
we
why
take
do we
out-
even have all these categories?
Well, because originally they gave people credit for prior work experience. So
Can I eliminate the shelter manager on line 20?
I believe that's the second line, and if that's the case, yes.
Okay. Now
And
I've
you
got
could-
shelter monitors at 17. Hopefully no formulas got messed up, but nope. Doesn't look like. So shelter monitor is $17 an hour.
Leave
Uh,
that one and take the other one out.
Yep. And then give me how many FTEs?
12?
Gotta be a
No,
lot. In my mind,
well,
our payroll can't go this way. It's gotta go.
I think there's about 20 staff currently.
well, that's true, but how many are actually working is a lot less.
And full time.
And yeah, calculating it to full time. So let me look here.
Well, if we know it's two per every 8-hour shift,
That equals 6.
6 times 7 is right. Is that what we're talking about? 42? That's not right.
No, it's not right that we have 12 full-time equivalents because it should be,
I just put 12 in for
we
Tell me when it
actually
is.
don't have 12.
T's.
Well, it's 6, but it's more than 6 because we are doing a 7-day week. So, I'd say do 3 per 3
3.
times. Wait a minute, 3 times 3 shifts. So that's 9.
9.
Okay, and you need to
So
look.
here's just a comment that, and I know Sue, we're all overwhelmed, but I'm just saying from a shelter standpoint, and we can lean on Janelle and Andy, and I'll talk to Janelle if we have to. But how many people do we need to operate our shelter? I mean, we're operating the shelter with 30 people right now, and that's all I want to put here. So we know that we're not undercutting and we don't want to too much overstate. So
Well, and the
I just want
problem
to make sure
is,
shelter understands that we're making their budget for them right now. And is that something you can live with? Because what I'm afraid of is that it sounds really weird, but that we're going to have too little expense in our budget and we're going to have this excess. And the excess is going to say, hey guys, we're not paying you 150 anymore. Sorry.
right,
You might switch
and
up.
so if you'd like, I mean, I can show this to, it can go back to Janelle and Deb.
what happened to the screen share?
Sorry, I pushed my thing off. Sorry.
But I really
It's
think,
coming back.
or actually we wouldn't, I guess we better
Lost
share,
everything, didn't
I just don't want to delay things any further.
Oh,
So yeah, I need to see the formulas that are in those shelter monitors positions because
I think we need to bump this number up. Did I lose a share? Is that what you're saying?
yes,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I have a switch under my desk and my wife loves the fact that my feet go at rapid pace all the time. I never stop and I turn the switch off by accident. Just wanted you to know that. Lynn
okay.
gets
So
a kick out of that.
let's talk about the shelter staff. We need, at $17 an hour, we need 2 staff on shift, 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year.
Right.
So that's what
that
the
should be
formula
pretty easy. That's
what the
6.
formula should show is what it is for one shelter staff person.
Right.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah, that's right. We just need the FTE amount. And what
Well-
you just said was 3 a day.
What is, no, I said
Oh, 6 a
3
day.
per shift, or
6.
2 per shift, so that's 6 per day.
Well,
But go back over to the 17 or to the 35,360.
okay.
Okay. So that it's not 37 and a half hours a week.
It says
It's-
40. It doesn't say 37 here.
No, yeah, so okay. I don't think you're in the $35,000 one, or
Oh,
at
I'm
least I
not. I'm
can't see the
sorry. Thought I
formula.
was.
Okay, I can't, okay. So it's not 40 hours a week.
37 and a half.
No, because, okay, can you do a formula over on the side?
Sure.
Okay. And just do,
Go ahead.
okay, okay, you've
Oh,
got
I'm
a
still,
form.
I think I'm copying. Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Let's do it here. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's 24 hours a day
Mhm.
times 365 days times $17 an hour. Okay,
148,000. So
so that's what the number is that needs to be in.
this box,
No, it's times 9, because we got to put the number of people in there.
oh, so that's a
Okay.
million three. That's not right.
That's probably right. So maybe we should just lower it to 6.
Lower it to 6. I've only
6
got,
shelter monitors instead of 9.
You gotta account for, I don't know if you've accounted for, do we pay vacations and all that?
Paid
people
time off
getting
is fringe,
Sick
it's all got to be in there. Yep.
and all that.
but that
That's
goes
all
in
down
fringe.
here. That
Yep.
should be at least 20%. And I don't think they put a restriction on it, did they?
No, they don't, and it should
So
be
Got
a
to be
lot more.
20.
Well,
I was doing fringe when I was managing and it was 26%.
and it's 2 full weeks of payroll for everybody except Pam, who's the only salaried employee, and it's also that was not included in the fringe, and overtime wasn't included in the fringe. So that 1,000,003 isn't so wrong.
Yeah, but let's get back to the formula then because it's got to work here. So we've got 40, are we leaving 40 hours or are we putting 37 and a half?
No, we're not. We're leaving it at 40. So if you do
And
40 times 17 times, that comes out to 35,000.
right.
360, but we need to be closer to that 1 million number,
Well, that's
which,
going to make this, I can do that. That's 3 times this. So it's 27 will be damn close.
well, 27's gonna not
And-
fly with them because that's 27, that's 9 staff on each shift.
But this is saying the 17 in that formula. So
Right,
that was a
I
million
know.
three.
I know. It's the way that their formula works, it's not 40 hours per week.
So we really have 6, don't we have 6 F, well, because we got weekends too, we got 6 FTEs covering the weekdays. And then we've got how many covering the weekends? They're proportionate. So I think it's safe to say that we should have the 9. But if we have the 9,
Well, it needs
not
to be
getting into
more
this.
than 9 because it's 6 during the week, and
So they had
Say
it at
3,
12 before. They had
They had what?
They had 12 people before. They had 6,
Danelle?
17. Yeah. Well, when I looked at this document before we started changing it, there was 6 people at $16 an hour and 6 people at 17. So altogether they had 12. Would that make
Okay.
sense?
Okay, so take 12 and divide it by 50 and times 30. And that will give us the number of full-time equivalents. If Janelle's math was right.
Well, she was saying we had 12 full-time equivalents.
Right, but we have 5 sites. We never provided payroll at
Oh, right.
Alphonse.
I don't know if is it an equal distribution?
Yeah, there was 2 people
I mean,
on
that
staff.
means 2.5 people per site.
Right.
Doesn't it?
No, Okay, so I'm not trusting Janelle's numbers were right because she was doing 37 and a half, or I believe, but maybe it was 40.
Well, she's got up here 37 and a half. Some 35, some 37 and a half. And I
Yeah,
think that's probably why before I changed it. So
uh-huh.
now if I go back, so she had this one at 16.
Okay, she had but she didn't account for the weekends.
Right? Well, she might have thought she did by
Okay, so hold on a minute. Let me get my calculator and come at this a different way.
I just think we need 6. How many FTEs do we need to cover Saturday and Sundays?
Okay, well, we need 6 per day, so let me get this out. And to cover 7 days a week, that means we need 36 or 42. So let me see, 6 per day times 7 days a week is 42 full-time equivalents.
Well, the other way around it is you take Saturday and Sunday, that's 24 hours per
Right.
day. So that's
Right.
44. That's a person and a half, call it. So if I think it's safe to say we can put 8 in there. And I have to leave at 3, just so everyone knows it. But
Okay,
gotta get this done.
okay.
So I would say it's safe to put 8 in here. Our
Well, if we
salaries
need 6 per
basically,
day, that's not 8 per week.
saying we need 6 FTEs to get through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
6
We
each.
need 2 to get through Saturday and Sunday, which is 44 hours. Am I right? Three,
Okay.
three, 8-hour shifts a day.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody's eyes glazing over?
Yeah.
We just got to get it done. That's all. So what I did, just so you know, because I think that anybody in their right mind is going to believe that they're going to, maybe not, take last year's budget and look at our new budget and go, let me see. Okay, they had 50 beds last year. They had 1.5 million, and they're asking for another 1.5 million. That doesn't work. So I just went through and did everything, divide by 50 and multiply times 30. And that gave me everything I needed. And I was bumping the payroll, it was up to like 800,000. Is that not a reasonable? Because that at least will check against them. They say 1.5 million
How
divided
many
by
did you
50.
come up with? 8, you said? Yeah, I've got
I
8
came up with
point.
8.
I came up with 8.5.
Well,
Make it
it's
9.
actually 7.5.
Well, I took 24 hours in a day times 7 days
I believe you.
and
Let's just do
doubled
9.
it.
So we
Do
got 9. And 600,000 plus fringe.
It looks like the fringe was figured at 15%, if I'm
Yeah, it
reading.
needs to be 20%
It needs to be more than 20.
or 25%.
I did
Like I said,
20.
I think if you look it up on Google, they'll say 27, 29%.
Well, and that's why I was going to just say, because we need to include overtime in there, that it needs to be somewhere around 27 or 28%.
Just looking it up, since they say any standard. Okay, yeah, I think it's defendable without a doubt. So I'm going to 28. How's that?
Okay.
Okay.
I will agree with it because
So
we
let
were
me see if
we were way, as you heard yesterday, we were way underestimated on salary on payroll last year.
well, yeah. So check is, how did we do last year? Pretty bad. So,
Uh-huh.
and we averaged less than 30. We averaged what, 25-ish? So, I mean, we could look at payroll last year and know that we gotta
Okay.
have,
So,
it still looks awfully light to me, but
okay, wait a
Your
minute, go back
numbers
to
are
that.
different than mine.
what's that?
I was trying to do it along with you and yours are different than mine. I don't know why, but anyway.
Well,
Okay,
if you go into personnel, yours is different than that.
I'm looking at the bottom lines. So
okay,
Well, I did 28%. Did you do 28%?
I thought so, but just let me check.
That's on the first page. That's
Yes,
what drives.
0.28, right? I put 0.28 into the formula and I got 138,761 for fringe. So what did I do wrong?
Yeah. Well, maybe this didn't read. You're right. I still have it at 15. I thought the first page drove this. Let's see.
I
so,
went up and changed the formula and
well,
Total benefits.
page 47 times 0.28.
Well, they're their formulas. That's why I don't want to much with them. So I'm trying to figure this out. This is where it's got to change right here.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
Is that right?
and then
uh-huh. Okay, so let's go back to the personal services.
my total other staff is different, but let me just check to see.
Okay, and Pat, you need to drag the shelter monitor that's on line 20 down to line 25 because they're direct support staff. They aren't management.
Drag it so lose the color. So it's got to go where?
It goes on line 25.
So line 19 and 20 are moving.
No, line 19 is moving to 25, and then line 12 and 13 go down to line 32 and 33.
I'm okay. I'm not going to keep up here.
I'm not going to clear value because I don't want to screw something up. So
Okay, well, you took out the wrong,
Oh, I
yeah,
thought-
never mind, I didn't say anything. And
yeah,
then
I think I
on-
did it right.
Yeah, you did.
So you got to tell me when I do things right, not only when
You
I do
did it
things
right.
wrong.
You did it right. Okay, so line 12 and 13 go down to 31 and 30, or 32 and 33.
Okay. Just want to make sure I got it.
And then you
Wonder
can
if I
just
can-
hit delete on that and it'll delete it. Or backspace, either one. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I just did. Okay.
Okay, so now I'm happy with that page, except it's, yeah, okay, now I'm happy with that page. Don't download it yet. We got more
I'm
pages
not.
to go.
I'm not.
Okay,
Just give me a minute.
okay,
Saving as I go because I don't want to lose it. So this is revised finance 115.
Oh, down at the bottom, it shows. I didn't notice under personnel. It says
What?
audited information and the fringe
Oh, wait
rate
a
is
minute. What happened?
26
These aren't totaling. So this isn't a total?
it should be.
Nah. It just says G47. What the heck is this? Something just went terribly wrong.
Well, where's the formula in G47? That's the question. Because that whole line is wrong.
Sum of G, oh. So isn't it just the sum of the whole column?
It's supposed to be.
Well, it can be. Not all that. Why does it expand?
Because they merge cells and you can't do a formula
Gotcha.
merging cells.
Can't do that. Back. It's not letting me out of this. Ah! Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I can't even go back anymore here. Okay. Stumped me.
Well, I was gonna check all of the formulas anyway, so do you want to just let it go for now? And
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it should, I mean, I can certainly do, let me do this. I can do the simple way, not the simple way, the longer. I don't know if this will do it because it's a red cell, probably won't. That's right, I think.
yeah, well, it's close enough that I'll check it and
Yeah, it's good. I think it's right.
yeah.
Except the fringe
Down
rate
at
is
the
now
bottom,
92%. Yeah, I got it.
what does
I
it
see
say
that.
on that last line? Total fringe benefits
Yeah,
nine.
I said that. I got that. I see that it's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna do this whole form. So, and then we're using 28%. Oh, sorry. Oh, didn't want that at all. Let's see. We'll do this. Yeah, slow down. This and
That's 28.
yeah. Well, change the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. I think that's right. And that's
Well,
pretty good. We got up to 700,000 almost. It's going to be better. Where
Was
does it
that
take us?
around what it was? Well, of course we had, never mind. Stupid.
It probably was. We lost income. So the question is, what's going to happen here? We're going to go through expenses. We're going to say, why do we need 150 a day? We don't have the
well,
expenses.
we're not done with our
I know,
expenses.
I'm just saying that's the whole argument here. This
Uh-huh.
doesn't, the occupancy doesn't. Why do we have separate column for cost to be reimbursed? I don't understand why those are less.
Well, because I think, does that subtract the money we're gonna pay? We're gonna pay, Papa Joe rents. I
No,
don't
I'm
know,
saying, why do we have, let me go back so you can see, why do we have this column?
because they want a separate thing of what they're gonna pay for.
So
They
tell
want to
me what,
know.
They
tell
don't
me
pay for
why
things.
is it going from 180 to 158? They're not going to pay all the rent?
I think
Uh,
that was a formula from last year because they didn't include rent for all of the beds. They were only including rent for 50 of the beds. So look at that formula and see if it doesn't say
Occupancy, C17.
no, it's going to be, yeah, right there. See what the formula is there.
Of C10. So it's in this one. It's just minus 22,000.
yeah,
And we
that's what,
don't know why. So
I
it
have no
shouldn't
idea.
be.
well,
Shouldn't be.
I think that's the payment to Papa Joe rents for the previous year, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
No, my point
Fine.
is they shouldn't be paying anything less than 100% of our
right.
cost of running Project Haven.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is why you need to go ahead and just put and take out the minus 22,000.
I don't know where you're seeing minus 22,000.
Oops.
It was in the formula.
My formula, I thought, are you talking C17? My formula says equals sum parentheses C10 colon C16 on parentheses.
Well, this one's, I think, is right now.
It's fixed.
Okay.
So occupancy and phone, it's 180.
Okay,
Period.
no, because we need to include the internet in there, because the internet is the phone, and so,
That should be a couple 100,000.
well, no, but I think we can get away with $100 a month.
Okay, I gotta jump on
We're
a
paying
Zoom.
129 or something, I think.
No, it's actually less than 100. The
was.
129 was before. Now it's been cut back. I don't know why. It was more before,
Okay,
except somebody was using cable and is my suspicion. And now they're using over the air because people were doing movies and stuff and we were paying for them. Just my educated guess.
So because I gotta jump, I'm gonna get a Zoom call in a second. Can we just, program office supplies, just need to make that right? And then consulting, we are not putting any consulting in, I assume.
Where are the meals? Well, no, there is,
Yeah, you jumped. I wasn't going into meals, but
well, there's food.
So that 10,000 is the Wilson Foundation trainer. And if we're gonna
what
proceed,
10,000?
But that's
Consulting?
not included in the THA contract. That's
Right.
for separate funding. That's why
Right.
you,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be included in there.
but that's part of the program cost.
No, it's part of the foundation grant funding. It's not something that the county will reimburse us for because Wilson's paying for it.
Yeah, because we didn't need to do it. It's just that they want to do trauma-informed training. So we're doing that with people for Wilson, not to run the shelter. It wouldn't be an expense we'd normally incur.
Right. It's just like they want to give the people that are trainers a
Right,
raise,
right.
and that raise isn't going to be covered this year
Okay,
by the
so-
THA grant.
I gotta go. I just
Okay.
saved this. Do you want me to send it to all of us?
Well, you better, because there's no copy in the drive that we can all work from.
You're right. So I'm going to do that as soon as I hang up. But I'm sorry,
Okay.
I got this important call at 3. So I'm leaving.
Okay, so
Bye. I'm sorry.
bye.
bye.
I got to see if I can get out of this. Oh, stop share. That's not making me get out. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, so we got at least a start on it. We got the hard part, the personal services that everybody
Why
else
do they
calls
call it
personnel.
personal rather than personnel? Is that just a
Because somebody's never caught the error. We could change it to say personnel services and they would not even notice it.
Right.
They just, Xerox the same mistake every year.
Okay, so what else can we talk about without Pat? Is there anything else we need to deal with?
I need to look at the rest of the budget, but since he's done it, was yours agreeing with him, Sarah?
No, I lost track because things were different, so I stopped.
Okay,
But
okay,
it was not agreeing with his, and his print was so small I couldn't. Anyway, whatever.
okay, yeah, that's fine. I understand.
Do you want me to wait until it gets sent to you? Do you want me to stay on and we can work on it together, or?
That would be helpful, because I'm really sleep deprived today. I was up until 2 this morning figuring out the general ledger problem I was having. The good news is I figured out the general ledger problem, and so once I talked to Bob this morning, then he gave me the adjusting entry information I needed so that my trial balance will actually work once I get it fixed. So I'm done with my 2 a.m. mornings.
Good.
Her bedtimes, actually, they weren't mornings. Well, in
It is morning.
Sunday was better than today, because Sunday I actually got 7 hours of sleep in before I woke up. Today I woke up at 7 o'clock, so I was a little short on my sleep today, and I tried to take a nap and I couldn't fall asleep because everything I'm thinking about is named audit and I can't get it out of my head. So what I've learned from the general ledger is not to try and do things like this while I'm sleep deprived, because then I'm dealing with concussion symptoms.
Right.
So the answer to your question, Sarah, is do we have time to do it tomorrow morning?
Just a minute. There was
Well,
something. I can't remember if it was on my calendar or Peter's for tomorrow morning. Just a sec. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
I'm clear tomorrow morning. Let me just make sure that I Yeah, I do not have any meetings tomorrow morning.
Okay, and I don't have anything before 4 o'clock, so,
Right, I actually don't, there was an errand I needed to do, but I have nothing on the calendar specific, so tell me and I can Zoom you with, oh, I just changed the board meeting, so it's now no longer meet anytime. It's now the
yeah,
actual,
now we have to have, yeah,
but I
actual,
can set up another Zoom if you
yeah,
want, or you can.
okay. Okay, I'll let you do it. So
Okay.
what else is on his agenda? I don't think much.
Do you want to join us or are you
Yeah.
happy for the two of us to, whatever?
Oh, so what time are you gonna meet?
It's up to Marcia.
Well, what time? I remember we used to do the development team meeting at 10:30 because walking the dog.
No, I'm good. I've got him. He's shorter walks when it's cold. So 10
Oh, okay,
o'clock I can do if that works for
okay,
everyone.
Okay, I can I can rush through my PT, and
Well, no. What time works for you, Sue?
10:30 would be when I would be back home. And
Okay.
okay. Let's do 10:30.
I'll send you a Zoom invitation.
okay,
Okay. I think that we got the Excellus January payment cleared up. We did
Oh.
overpay it, but the way they work is that they um, we pay them at the beginning of the month for the month, and then if there's any changes, then they come back with those. So we're okay with that. They'll give us credit for a few months, which is going to help us financially. The workers' comp audit is way done. What's up with Michigan Miller's replacement?
so the last I knew, Deb is working with our broker,
Okay, we just
and
need,
the broker is looking for a new insurance company for us.
okay. Okay, so I know you did a budget, but I haven't seen an updated budget through the end of April.
Yeah, we've been over that today, and we agreed to it, and I can send it to you. I
Okay,
made the changes you suggested. So,
okay, okay. Well, it needs to go, the shelter has a folder for budgets, and you just need to put it in that folder, and it's the 24-25 budget revised, and then the date is today, and you put the date at the front,
okay,
With the
and
year
then,
first, and
yeah,
then the month, and then the day.
okay,
okay, and then put 2024-25 revised budget.
THA, revised THA budget.
No, this is
Oh.
the internal budget.
I'm sorry. Keep my mouth shut.
okay.
Okay, I think we can take OPI off of here because that's no longer an issue, other than, what we talked about last night about not talking about anything until the attorney tells us to. We talked about all of the payroll and stuff, and New York State audit is done. So I'm just cleaning up his. We did pay Papa Joe's rent. And have you submitted it to the city for payment?
So, Deb is gonna work with Andy on that. She does not know how to do it.
Okay, so don't forget to find $1,500 in other costs, and I'm going to tell you the quickest way to do that is
Okay.
with the St. Peter's Kitchen invoice,
Okay,
because it's more than the $1,500. So if you send in those two, that should get you what you need. If you need payment receipts to go with them, let me know because I can go back in and download them for you.
okay, I'm sure we're gonna need those,
Okay,
because I think that goes with it, right?
I think that that's required to go with it, yes. So let me write a note. Oh, the thing is, we haven't paid St. Peter's Kitchen for January because rent's due on the first of the month and the meals invoices due the first of the following month. So they may have to hold up because rent's the only thing that we pay the beginning of the month.
Okay, well, what else could we invoice for?
Well, I don't know if we can invoice in for January for December food or December anything, and everything other than the food, except for payroll. Okay, so where are we at with payroll? Let me look at that.
Well, since the grant period began months ago, we should be able to invoice for December food.
Well, we can try, but somebody needs to check with the city to see if that's okay. If not, then it's going to have to be payroll. And let me look at the payroll summary I put up. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so that's the payroll that we paid last Friday on the 10th was for the last week of December and the first week of January. So that would work if we need to.
Okay,
Okay. But
I'll let her know that.
okay. Okay, so where are we at now? And I don't know how we're going to be able to pay the other part of the money that's for the ESG grant because, essentially we have to pay Joe $15,000 in order to get about 5 back. So that's a question that you need to discuss with Deb and Andy to determine how you want to deal with it. Because right now, I mean, we're sitting here. I know we can't afford to pay February rent until we know that the city or the county starts paying us for 2025. But, you know, I don't know what else to say other
Right.
than that.
Well, I can let them know.
Okay. And have you heard anything about any other sources of funding?
And no, and I I don't, I think that's a whole mess. Because I don't know who would write up, who would write grants. I know I'm not willing to take that on. So,
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things that it's a program level responsibility and you just don't have anybody in your program level, in the shelter team that is able to write grants, I don't think, because I'm pretty sure that Jeanette and Kevin can't, and I know Deb can't. So it's all up in the air how you're going to continue getting that done, but
it's not going to happen. I just, I don't know how it would happen. So, and we don't have a plan to make it happen. And I think it's going to be just I doubt we're going to make it much more beyond
Code Blue.
the end of February. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm hoping we can get to April 15th
I
and
hope so
get
too. But
everybody out of the shelter by the end of the month and all the furniture packed up and moved out and everything that's still at West Main packed up and moved out. But, I can't say that that's going to happen. That's just a hope on my end. But yeah, I'm right there with you. So United Way is coming in at 12.5. They did keep their promise. They did it. So that's all there is on that. Nothing else for tiny homes or admin or advocacy that wasn't reported last night. Doesn't belong in the finance team meeting anyway. So I think we're done.
I just have one thing that I have to say. I just forwarded you, Marcia, and I copied Deb, I think. Yesterday during the board meeting or just before the board meeting, I got a past due notice on workman's comp. They say NYSIF has advised that there's a past due payment of $18,945. Isn't that something that's auto paid?
Mm-hmm.
So, I probably shouldn't have forwarded it to you before I told you that the email address is a person's first initial name at goecomp.com. It's from eComp is the name
Yeah,
of the company. So I
it's
think it's
the
authentic.
yeah, it probably is. But all I have to say is, how did we rack up that much in workers' comp? Because we've been paying it on automatically every month.
Right. So anyway, I forwarded it to you. I have not gone onto the actually logged in yet to see what our account is saying, and I will do that this
Yeah,
afternoon.
please do. So that you know that it's legitimate. And then I don't know what to tell you because the finance team doesn't have anything to do with the payments. We only deal with,
Right. So,
payments that aren't auto pay.
right. Anyway, I'll let you know what I find out, but I forwarded you the email.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
And I probably freaked Deb out, but she wants me to send her stuff too, so I sent it to
Yeah,
her.
that's where it should have gone. And it probably should have gone to Pat, to Sue and to Deb, or Sue
Deb,
and to Pat also. But
for finance team?
uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah, anything like that that's giving you a heart attack, it needs to go to the team lead and to their chair and to the finance team.
All right. So I'm sending it to Pat and Sue now.
Well, I would wait until you confirm that it's actually legitimate,
All right.
because if
All
it's
right.
not legitimate, then we have something else to deal with.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so the other thing that you and I need to deal with is this internal controls thing
And
for
the
Bonadio.
technology one.
I will take care of the technology one. I already sent it to Pam and she's already responded to me
Oh,
with
good.
the shelters policies. What you need to do is take the blank internal controls document questions and send them to Pam and ask her to give you narrative from the shelters policies and procedures, and that will be incorporated into the entire document without naming them as being shelter policies.
Okay.
Because she gets a little touchy if she thinks we're going to say, well, the shelter team did this thing. But if she knows it's coming in anonymously, she turned it around in 24 hours for the IT controls.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So internal controls, the blank sheet without any of my first
Just-
draft and second draft and everything.
Right, just their questions.
They're guiding questions. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Got it.
Then what's your schedule look like for other things that you might be able to help out with the audit?
I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign off.
Okay. We'll
Okay.
include you in the next audit.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye
I'm
bye.
okay, Marcia.
Bye-bye.
So
We
I'm
can
gonna,
stop the recording too.
I'm okay.